So what I'm going to do today is take 10 to 15 minutes to show you Opsview version 4. So apologies, I don't speak any Italian, so I'm going to speak nice and slowly. If you can't understand me or I'm going too fast, please just put your hands up, let me know, and Michelangelo here can translate or ask me to slow down or so forth. So I'll go through this nice and slowly for you. So as part of the demo, I want to show you version 4. I want to show you what the new interface looks like. I want to show you some of the new capabilities of Opsview Enterprise. So that's mainly our dashboard, new reporting functionality. I want to show you the type of service checks which we can now do in version 4. I want to show you Selenium, for example, which we've integrated with Opsview. I want to show you the dashboard views, which we can see. Then I want to give you some real-world examples. So one of the examples I always get asked for is how to restart services. How can you self-heal? And I'm going to show you how you do that as well in Opsview. So we'll have a web server, Apache, it dies, Opsview can restart it for you. So instead of you getting that phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning, Opsview can help you restart that service and get it going again. Again, it's making your lives easier, not only systems administrators, but also at management level. So let's start walking through a demonstration of Opsview. I'm just going to pour myself a glass of water. I'm not going too fast for anyone.
Mentre Chris beve, una delle funzionalità di cui non vi ho parlato è la gestione proattiva degli eventi, delle anomalie. Sono molto poche le persone che lo usano, spesso c'è un po' di scetticismo sulla funzionalità. Vi sarà capitato sicuramente, molto spesso vengono sollevati degli allarmi su delle informazioni stupide, ad esempio un disco che si satura perché è finito lo spazio dei log, piuttosto che un servizio che ha qualche problema e l'unica cosa che l'operatore deve fare non è chissà quale analisi di troubleshooting, deve semplicemente andare a fare stop e restart del servizio. Quante volte ci sono allarmi di questo tipo? Il sistema può essere configurato per gestire proattivamente con degli script ciò che deve essere fatto al momento in cui si verifica una determinata anomalia. Quindi inutile mandare un SMS, inutile mandare un'email o generare un disservizio e coinvolgere un operatore, uno o più operatori. È molto più utile scrivere uno script che per determinate anomalie, non tutte possono essere gestite così, il sistema va e risolve il problema. C'è un problema, un disco che si è saturato, vai e svuota la temp, svuota il cestino, fai un po' di svecchiamento dei log. C'è un servizio che si blocca e non si riesce a risolvere perché magari non si può installare la versione patchata o non c'è una versione patchata, fai un restart del servizio e così via. Questa è una delle funzionalità che si può fare in maniera facilissima, è una delle prime cose che abbiamo visto anche quando facemmo il primo corso, è estremamente utile, quindi se potete, se avrete la voglia, provatela, perché tolto lo scetticismo iniziale potrebbe risolvere un sacco di anomalie. Ve l'ho detto, una grossa percentuale sono stupidaggini, non sono problemi veri.
Grazie. So here's the start screen to Opsview version 4. Now, you can see here, the interface, if you used Opsview before, we've completely rebranded the interface. So here we've gone for our new logo, which is a very deep purple on white. And that interface is unified throughout all the modules that we have in Opsview. Again here, there's an awful lot of colours. So just by looking at this projection screen, we can quickly and easily see which is critical, what's warning, what's okay. In the previous version of Opsview, we had pastel colours. So as your estate became bigger, it wasn't always so easy to see what services were up and what services were down. Again, in the new version, it's really standing out at you. So we've made a big effort to actually put the colours right in this version. So let's have a walk through Opsview. So here, for example, we can see... Oh, sorry. So here, for example, in Opsview, we can see we've got an ESX server. So let's show you some of the checks which we can do in ESX. So again, server is up. If it was down, it would be unhandled. And again, we're running 11 service checks. So this is host up or down. And this bit here is service checks. What's my memory? What's my I/O? What's my disk status? And so forth. That's all on the right-hand column. So, we can click through, and we can see here, can I use your pointer?
Yeah.
Great. Do I press the middle one?
Yeah.
There we go. So here, for example, you can see the amount of CPU usage that ESX is using. So this could be for your V data center. Again, number of hosted virtual machines. So this is quite simple information. And then we go to the next one, input and outputs. We can have all the I/O across our entire data center on that one monitor. It's a really powerful function for VMware monitoring. And again, if I click through to the graphs, see down the bottom here, we're now having an average view of what performance on our estate looks like. So instead of just seeing metrics, you're now starting to see graphs. And look here, there's a trough, there's a peak. What happened? What occurred on the estate? Opsview's letting you know about issues which you potentially weren't aware of. So is something happening from 6 to 8 o'clock in the morning on your estate that could be giving you a degraded service to customers? Just by looking through the logs, you may not have seen that. But on the graph, you can quickly and easily see there's a peak. And again, there's other peaks here, here, and here. What's caused them? For the first time, Opsview allows you to have that viewport onto your entire estate. So let's go back. Now, this is what I like to call our chief executive view. This is what business managers want to see. They're not so interested in terms of what hosts are up or down. That doesn't mean anything to a manager. That's for the techies to care about. What a manager cares about is what about my customers? Here's Global Life Healthcare. Are they up or they're down? They're critical. That's affecting my bottom line. My profit is being reduced. Again, here's our site here. If that's not okay, potentially that's affecting our revenue. How could you work out from the service checks what your website is? You don't need to with Opsview. You can put these all into viewports. So again, my website for opsview.com, any health check associated with opsview.com is there. And for example, if I click in, here you can see all the checks associated with it. So it's not just, is my website up or down? It's actually, how many Apache sessions are there? What are the internal metrics of the web server telling me? It's a really fine level of detail that you can get out with Opsview. But again, this is one of my favourite ones. SSL certificate expiry. How often have you been caught out by that? I was a sysadmin previously. We would always get caught out by it. You need to know when your SSL certificates are going to expire. Again, what about your domain names? If you're a hosting customer, you take care of tens, hundreds of accounts. How do you know when the who is going to expire? Do you have them in an Excel spreadsheet? Or do we literally put them in a viewport? So here, with 60 days to go, you're going to get a notification method, and it will become warning. 30 days becomes critical. Simple things that's going to make your life a lot easier.
Ne parlavamo prima con qualcuno di voi. A volte ci si focalizza, perché si è abituati a lavorare in questo modo a livello di operation, su quali macchine sono su, quali macchine sono giù, quali sono i servizi up and down, ma alla fine a un manager che possa essere appunto sia della control room di turno, ma anche un manager di un altro settore, di un'ingegneria ad esempio, non gliene frega niente di sapere come stanno i singoli servizi o come stanno delle macchine intere. L'importante è capire se questo sta generando un disservizio per l'utente finale, perché se abbiamo una batteria di 10 web server per i portali operatori e uno di questi è giù, non muore nessuno, il servizio continua a essere operativo proprio perché è stato costruito in un certo modo. Quindi il livello di gravità con cui deve intervenire l'operatore è ovviamente diverso. Una delle domande che giustamente faceva Chris è: sto perdendo profitto a causa di questo disservizio? Il fatto che sia critico significa che devo intervenire per tempo o dovevo intervenire un'ora fa perché sto perdendo dei soldi? Questo è il succo del discorso, e questo consente in qualche modo di raggruppare questa serie di funzionalità di di check per dire se il servizio sta girando correttamente oppure no, se sto generando il servizio oppure no.
So you can see here, for example, for that full application lifecycle. So with the website, you can check DNS records, check MX records, you can check the response time of your website. So you can start to see if you're having a degraded experience before your customer does. You're on top of the game. You're seeing what's going on with your website. And again, we've got our who is expiry here for our domain name. So all within one viewport, we've captured our website. So you could have one website viewport, another website viewport, another. Here you can have an Oracle viewport for your database servers, Oracle applications, WebSphere, all on different viewports and all affecting different parts of your business. So you can quickly and easily see what part of your business is having any issues. It's a really, really powerful viewport. Let's next have a look at events. So the event timeline. Now, when this loads up, we're going to see quite a few events here for our website response time monitor. And what I'm going to do is show you how we would actually filter through these events. So you might look at that, and that's telling you an awful lot of information. How do we actually go through and have a granular look as to what's happening on the estate? So let's show you now. First thing, got a little icon up here, which is options. So we'll click on this. This then gives us a filter viewport. So let's, for example, have a look at all the alerts on my host for slave 1. Within one click, I've now got the alerts for just one of my collector slaves, all on one page. Let's say I don't want it per host view, I want it per business view. Again, go back up to the top left here. And let's say I want to have a keyword, and I want to have it for opsview.com. These are all the events that concern opsview.com. And here you can see one has just come in. And we can also have sounds. So you can have a yabba dabba doo sound. You can have a big alarm alert that's playing in your office. So you know firsthand when alerts happen. And again, as Michelangelo's commented, we alert via email, SMS. We also support HTTP over SMS as well. So there's a variety of ways for you to see the alerts in your estate. Again, this is a really powerful viewport. Let's touch on some of the modules now included within Opsview Enterprise. The first module I'm going to show you is something called NAGVIS. Now, NAGVIS is a representation of your estate. And at the end, I'm going to dig out a customer's NAGVIS viewport that they wanted to share with us. And it's a reference customer, it's Trinity Mirror Group. And what they've done with NAGVIS is absolutely fantastic. They have an entire flow diagram from printing press to editors, all the way through to actual delivery. And I'll show you their graph they've done in NAGVIS. It's very impressive. So here's some ones I've done. You can start to think about how you could have that topology and monitor it in your estate. So here, for example, we've got our Cisco switch. It's up. That's good. Next, we've got our VPN router. Again, up. That's good. Here we have a switch. That's up. That's good. Here we have some servers. They're up. However, look, there's one here, an Exchange box. It's down. Something's wrong with it. So ransom's critical on it. And again, you could have that topology, that flow view within your business. Let me show you the NAGVIS example that Trinity Mirror did. I think it's here. That's it. Everyone see that okay? So here, this is one of our big customers. And here's how they're using Opsview and NAGVIS. In the middle there is their circulation. That's gone red. They can click into that and they can see all the alerts associated with their national circulation. For their flow diagram, they know that if that isn't fixed, potentially it's going to impact their regional circulation. So a manager can quickly and easily see, right, my guys don't fix this, that's going to go red next. And if that goes red, what else happens? Well, guess what? We can't deliver to newsagents. So potentially a huge revenue source is put at risk by that national circulation going red. And that's just a simple example as to how one of our very big customers is using Opsview. Again, it's not just looking at your host details, it's looking at the business application streams and the business views. And here's a great example of how Opsview enables you to do that.
Con qualcuno di voi ne avevamo già parlato, per esempio con Roberto, molti sono abituati a vedere queste rappresentazioni pensando solo alla topologia di rete, quindi cercare di capire cosa non funziona, cosa è un router, cosa non funziona al di sotto di quel router, ad esempio, e così via. Ma questa è una rappresentazione interessantissima perché appunto il manager, piuttosto che sul proiettore di una sala di controllo, non deve esserci per forza la topologia di rete, perché a un certo punto è un'informazione troppo granulare, soprattutto per un'infrastruttura distribuita molto grossa, o ancora quando ad esempio si hanno macchine in cloud, dove a noi non interessa sapere se il disco di quella macchina si è saturato o meno, a noi interessa sapere se il servizio sta girando oppure no, perché alla fine il problema, dov'è che si perdono i soldi? I soldi si perdono quando un servizio non sta girando, non certo quando il disco è saturo. Quella è una rappresentazione estremamente interessante perché consente di vedere rapidamente come sta girando il nostro business, qual è la componente che si sta rompendo o è già rotta, quale potrebbe essere la prossima, o ancora cosa succederà, cosa perderò se non agisco immediatamente. Nel caso specifico faceva vedere che non sarebbe riuscito dopo un altro guasto a distribuire i giornali, questo è un formato elettronico, cartaceo, quello che è. E questo se un'azienda fa quello di mestiere è bloccante. Paradossalmente un altro fault, un altro punto del servizio, un altro punto dell'infrastruttura non avrebbe creato lo stesso problema. Quindi questa è una delle rappresentazioni. Come vi dicevo prima, vale sia per i report che per le rappresentazioni. Dipende dalla vostra fantasia, dipende dal modo in cui voi avete bisogno di capire come sta girando il business. Quindi se a voi vi interessa sapere soltanto se le macchine sono su e giù, ci sono dei grafici semplicissimi da fare. Se invece voi volete capire come l'intera infrastruttura fisica, virtuale, in cloud sta interagendo per raggiungere o non raggiungere gli obiettivi di business, lo potete fare con grafici più o meno complessi, che poi potreste realizzarli dal Microsoft Paint integrato in Windows, potreste usare Visio per costruire un grafico più interessante, qualunque cosa. Lo esportate in un formato tipo JPEG, lo reimportate qua, definite cosa rappresentano gli oggetti, quindi il singolo box piuttosto che il singolo server è associato a cosa? A un host group, a un host, a un servizio, a delle keyword che, come aveva fatto vedere lui, potrebbe rappresentare l'intera catena dei portali operatori, non il singolo sito. Li associate e poi li navigate, li mettete magari sul proiettore, su uno schermo al plasma, nella vostra control room o dovunque vi serva, e lo potete navigare, quindi semplicemente passando sopra col puntatore vedete lo stato di dettaglio, se vi interessa saperlo. Magari potrebbe interessarvi soltanto sapere che quel pallocco è rosso e quello fa perdere i soldi. Stop.
Great, thanks, sir. Okay. Perfect. So the next thing we're going to come on to is reports. Now, reporting is really a key component and one of the things that all our customers in the enterprise want to start doing. A lot of our customers are doing it manually at the moment, so they're having to export the statistics in our Opsview data warehouse, and they're having to run an Excel report against it, or they're using their own reporting tools. This is manual effort. This is time that could be taken away from actually doing something that's profitable for the business. I spoke to one gentleman a fortnight ago, and he was telling me 2 hours every week he would have to run a report for his manager. It would take 2 hours out of his day. That's crazy. They're paying him probably X amount of money to sit and do an Excel spreadsheet. We're here to make their life a lot easier. So let me show you an example of some of the reports. And then we're going to run through the reports and see what they look like in the real world. So, here's the reports. You can see they're based on daily, weekly, monthly and yearly. We can aggregate reports and run a report for as long as you keep data. By default, we'll keep that data for 12 months. However, in our system preferences, you can easily change that retention time. A lot of financial customers, telecommunication customers, because of federal laws, need to keep that data for at least 5 to 7 years. And again, they're doing that and archiving it in Opsview. And they can run reports against that if they need to. So let's go ahead now and let's run a few example reports. So the first report I'm going to run is a daily availability report. My manager needs to know every week, what was our availability like? Did we have downtime? What was our percentage levels? So let's run one for yesterday. So I'm just going to click through, and here we put our screen. Now, there's 3 boxes to complete here, of which only one is mandatory. If you compare that to going through an Excel spreadsheet and doing that, look how easy this is going to be. Keyword. Opsview has the concept of keywords. So, if you have Cisco routers, put them with a keyword of Cisco. Your website, opsview.com, put a keyword of opsview.com. Say your Oracle application service, or a dash apps, for example. And you can run keywords against all of these. So let's now run one against my website health checks, which we saw previous. Put the keyword in. I'm going to select the end date. I want to run that for yesterday. Here, if I'm a hosting customer, I can upload my company's image. So you don't have to have our logo. You can put Accenture's logo, for example. You can put the logo of your customer. And again, that's really easy to do. Let's then click OK. The database is queried, and instantly now we've got a report. Here you can see all the checks which are tagged with that keyword. So these are all our Apache hosts. And look here, there's actually some red. So we saw in our state yesterday that we had some downtime. Now I could have gone through the events view, but we've seen before how cluttered that can be. The report makes it really easy for you to take that, email it to your management, for you to inspect it yourself, for you to take a printout and assess it. So let's just click on PDF. This then exports PDF. And again, let's take that one. Oops, need to, okay. Let me just zoom that out. Then here, we can start seeing percentages. Again, we had a 0.59% outage rate yesterday. So you haven't had to do any mathematics, you haven't had to create any charts in Excel, you haven't had to create any formulas and maintain those formulas in Excel. We've just done them in Opsview for you. So leave the hard work to us. Let's take another one. Let's go back, let's click on reports. Now let's have a look at a service level report. So, you host customers, they want a 99% uptime, for example. So, how do we show to our customers that we're meeting that SLA? Well, here's how we're going to do it. Keyword, website health checks. Again, let's run it for yesterday.
Sorry, Chris. Can you zoom in? Can you zoom in?
Zoom in.
Let's say
Oh, right. There you go. Is that okay? Is that okay? Yes. I'm glad I bought my map then, because that makes that nice and easy. Okay, so let's put in 99%. Now here's a really interesting option. Include scheduled outages. Well, what does this mean? When you're hosting for customers, you will always have a window of time, be it monthly, weekly, sometimes even daily, where you are allowed to put the estate at risk. Obviously, usually it's at a 4 o'clock window time, 2 o'clock in the morning. That downtime should not impact on your SLA agreement with your customer. So how does Opsview allow you to actually integrate that? We just tick that box. So, if we have scheduled downtime set up in Opsview, which is one click away, that will not take away your SLA percentage. That's a really key point for customers that are hosting for other companies. So again, let's now go ahead and run this report. Let me create a PDF. Just use this time. Can you see up here? We can export it to Excel, CSV. We even export open document formats if you're an open office shop. So again, that's really, really nice. Working previously at Red Hat, we didn't use Microsoft Office, it was just Open Office. So this is actually a blessing to export it as an open document template. So again, let's take a PDF, we'll open that up. There it is down the bottom. Now here's our chart again. Let's just move that, just zoom out. We've got a little bit of red. That was an unscheduled outage. So potentially we haven't met an SLA. Let's look on the next screen and see what our SLA was.
Sorry, please. Is it possible to customize the text of the reports to translate in Italian, for example?
Yeah.
The text in the document.
Yeah, so the way in which we do that is by using something called Jasper Admin. So that's a tool which maybe a lot of you are familiar with. We can also give help and guidance with that on support. And there's also language packs as well for you. So if you use Opsview, Opsview is actually translated fully into Italian. And I think it was maybe yourselves that helped us do that. Yeah. So thank you very much for that. But again, you've got a proper native translation of Opsview. So again, nice win. Now here's the important statistics.
Emilio translates the latest version.
Oh.
Previous version.
Right, okay, fantastic. Thank you. So a big round of applause. So here you can see for our website response time. Now, that's someone going and grabbing opsview.com. Did we meet our target? Well, yes, we hit our 2 nines. Would we have hit 3 nines? No. Would we have hit 5 nines? No. And again, total availability 99.4. Our target, what we want it to be, was 99. So actually we've hit it. But if that was 3 nines, we'd have failed it. And there'd be a big red line through here telling you. So you can take that to your customer and say, look, we've met your SLA. Or you can take it up to your management and say, no, we haven't met the SLA, and here's the hardware, here's the resources that we need to help us meet that SLA with customers. You don't want to have the ability for the customer to complain to you that you're missing their SLA. You want to be ahead of the game. And that's how you're going to do it with the reports.
Immaginate di offrire un servizio di monitoraggio gestito ai vostri clienti. Quindi state operando come dei service provider e offrite questo tipo di servizio. Oltre alle credenziali per consentire ai vostri clienti di accedere all'interfaccia e monitorare i propri sistemi, configurarne altri e così via, una delle prime cose che dovete fare è fornire gli strumenti per la reportistica. Questo vi consente di svincolarvi completamente dalla produzione manuale della reportistica, perché il cliente da solo va, si guarda gli intervalli, come, quando e perché di tutti i report e se lo produce da solo. Questo può essere utile visto che accedete alla stessa base dati e accedete allo stesso identico report, anche a gestire eventuali questioni col cliente, che dice a me risulta, non risulta. Questo è lo stesso sistema che vede lui, quindi se qualcosa non corrisponde allo SLA target che avete definito, che avete contrattualizzato, potrete discutere, se previsto, di eventuali penali e così via. O comunque dimostrare da subito che avete ragione voi e che il servizio performa come avevate promesso e previsto nel contratto. Quindi questo non è utile soltanto con l'operatore della control room di turno che deve creare un report per il proprio responsabile o per i manager dell'azienda, ma potreste utilizzarlo anche per parlare con i vostri clienti in caso di monitoraggio gestito. Come diceva Chris, i report adesso sono in inglese perché comunque il Jasper Server è installato in inglese, non c'è il language pack installato, ma tutto quanto può essere o tradotto o comunque sia attraverso l'interfaccia di amministrazione del Jasper Server si possono modificare e la tipologia di report, la quantità e il testo in esso contenuti. Quindi anche il template, banalmente, template colori.
Yes, sir.
About the report,
Yeah.
I would like to know if it's possible to have some report with correlation data. For example, I want to know how much is the amount of the free disk of a specific server, because my customers, for example, memorize document, and I have to know how many free disk is available, because I have to buy 100 disks or something special. It's possible to have something like this?
So let me show you. So actually, it's a really good example. Customer I'm working with in the States at the moment has that exact requirement. They're undergoing an audit, which of course we all love going through audits, and they're using the Opsview reporting module to show them how much disk space is across their environment. So what I do now is I run a performance reports, and that we get the individual metrics out, and you can see actually, for example, say website response times. You can see how much you've got free, what the response time was, and you can see the graphs attributed to it. So disk space, you'll see that graph going up and up potentially, or stay static.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, so
the different in the time.
So let me show you that now.
Right.
Show you the
Okay.
So, again, click on the modules link. All the modules are under one available tab. Let's then go to reports. Now, let's have a look at a keyword to use. Let's have a look at... Let's use our website architects. So, here's our performance report. So, we're going to click on this one. Let's change the default. Now, we can add a keyword for C disks, D drives, E drives, and Windows, and so forth. What we're going to do now is for the performance of our website. And we're going to start to see those individual metrics. So you as a manager can look, put that piece of paper in front of you and see, right, what was it looking like? Were we going up? Were we going down? What's those actual figures? So let's have a look. Let's run that for yesterday. Again, it's a simple task of clicking OK. Now, that's going to go away, query the MySQL database. Here we go. Now, 7 pages. This one's a little bit longer than the one we saw previous. I'm just going to export this to PDF. There we go. So, here we can see the individual metrics. So these could be your disk drive set. So here you could have, say, the value is 50% full, 60% full. And you can see, for each host that you've got, there's individual values of that service check. You can hear the next page. We see we've got graphs. So again, for disk space, if it's a root file system on a Unix box, you'd expect to see that as pretty constant. If it's an application partition, you'll start to see that actually, hopefully, start building off until you ship the logs off. So again, using a performance report and appropriate keywords can get you that viewport that you want into your business. Does that answer the question for you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. You can see there's actually an awful lot more data in this graph as well. And that would have taken the chat that I told you about a fortnight ago, probably 2 hours to write some report like that. Within literally 2 minutes, we've created that report that you can give to management or inspect yourself if you're in that position. So, I'm going to finish off by showing you our dashboard. However, I want to show you a few cool features of Opsview first. Some of the stuff we've done in version 4. The first thing I want to show you is Selenium. Now, has anyone in the room heard of Selenium? Are we aware of what it is? So the gentleman here is going to be brave and know what Selenium is. So, Selenium is a way to record website activity. So, a lot of customers say to me, Chris, this is all great. Here's all the information. But what about my application? My customer needs to log in. They need to input their credit card details. They then need to do an authentication against the acquiring merchant bank. We need to get an authentication token back, and they need to have their payment approved. If my e-commerce site fails, my business stops. I stop taking money. How can your Opsview application help me with that? Because all these checks, they're telling me the application's working, but they're not telling me that a customer full transaction is working. And you know, as we go forward in the 21st century, e-commerce is absolutely critical. And monitoring of e-commerce is now A+ in terms of criticality. So I'm going to show you how we'd actually do a monitoring of an e-commerce site. I'm going to give you a nice example. So, the first thing we have is the Selenium tool included within Firefox. So if you go to selenium.org, you can download the IDE, and it's a plugin. And it looks kind of like this. Oh, there we go. Now, this tool is our replay agent. This is going to record everything of your web transaction. So, let's go to Barclaycard, that's my credit card provider. First, I'm going to click record. So stop, I'm going to record. And I'm going to go to barclaycard.co.uk. Fine. Number one point, the website loads. That's the first step. That's one of the most important steps. The website's operational. Well, they just say, I have no commercial association with Barclaycard. I'm not advertising them unnecessarily. Now, here's where that application and commerce begins. So, I'm going to go up to the top right. I'm going to click Login. This gives us a new screen. I'm going to have to input my details. Now again, if you've worked in e-commerce, you'll always have dummy details that you can use. And these usually do a penny transaction every minute or couple of minutes. So, I'll enter my details. Perfect. So I can now put in my memorable word. Now, that's different every single time. So Selenium won't be able to take that into account. But if you've got an e-commerce site where it's values which don't change, credit card number, signature strip on the back, the CVV number, you can put these all in. So, let's now go back to Selenium, and let's click stop. It's recorded everything. So, what I can do is close that down, see if it never existed.
Password is visible.
Yeah, I know. Please don't abuse my password. 2 seconds, there we go. It's now back to that screen. Selenium has replayed that application. So you can do that with your credit card details, with your dummy details. And then we can go into Opsview. Now I've set up one here for opsview.com and make sure that if someone purchases Pro on our website using our dummy details, that's working. So, if I go into monitoring and then hosts, and I click on my web monitor, here you can see we've got a Selenium one. And this is now checking here that we can search on our website file. That means customers going to search articles, it works. That's querying MySQL, it's checking their login details, it's doing a full application transactional view. Just with health checks alone, you can't do that. But with Selenium or with Opsview, you can. So again, here, there's 6 tests. That means there's 6 events, as we showed there with Barclaycard. There's 6 points to log in and to make sure that that's fine. If any step fails, it's going to tell you here. So if there's 2 stages have failed, or 1 stage has failed, you can go in and it will tell you where it's failed. That's such a powerful feature. Instead of now going through host logs or application logs, trying to find out where it's gone wrong, let Selenium and Opsview do that hard work for you. So again here, I can now click on my graph bar, and you can see we had an outage last night. Not of our website, but my training server. I had a heart attack this morning when I found it wasn't working. 20 seconds to do that transaction, and there we go, look, a blip. You can see these graphs in real time on our new dashboard, and that's what I'll be showing you next. So you can see here, for example, sudden jump. What caused that jump? Is my customer's ability to purchase my product being affected? Well, for the first time now, you can absolutely see that in Opsview. And for me, version 4, that's an absolutely standout functionality that we offer. And you saw how easy it was just to record your application web transaction. So I'll finish up by showing you the enterprise dashboard after Michelangelo's done the translation.
Selenium è nato come tool di collaudo delle applicazioni web, perché come voi avete notato tante volte un cliente ce l'aveva confermato di recente, capita che la macchina sta funzionando perfettamente, i DNS stanno andando, i dischi non sono pieni, il servizio il demone HTTP funziona, il sito è raggiungibile dall'esterno, eppure un utente cerca di accedere al portale operatore, cerca di fare una qualunque operazione di provisioning, cerca di accedere a dei dati e qualcosa va storto. Perché? Perché c'è qualche componente che o non è del tutto monitorata, oppure anche se il servizio ad esempio sta girando, in realtà è bloccato e uno non se ne accorge. E allora cosa si ritrovava a fare questo cliente? Ogni mattina una serie di operatori accede alle 7 del mattino a queste interfacce web ed effettua dei test manuali. Ogni mattina 2 persone alle 7 accedono e testano tutti i singoli siti. Immaginate, 1 il costo, 2 l'utilità di questa operazione qua, perché quando un'operazione poi diventa ripetitiva le persone che le eseguono iniziano a metterci anche meno attenzione. Quindi qual è stata la soluzione proposta? Usiamo questo strumento, registriamo l'operazione, la sessione classica che l'utente, l'operatore effettua su quel sito per verificarne le funzionalità. Una volta che le registriamo attraverso il tool che vi ho mostrato, vengono caricate sul server e viene impostato ogni quanto il server deve fare questi check. Cosa si potrebbe fare? Siccome questi check devono essere effettuati ogni santissima mattina, che si fa? Li si schedula per essere eseguiti la mattina, vengono effettuati tutti quanti, viene prodotto il daily report. Questo report, una volta prodotto, viene preso e mandato massivamente via email alle persone che avevano l'interesse di sapere che il servizio stesse funzionando. Tutto il processo è stato automatizzato eseguendolo una volta sola, impostando una volta sola tutto quanto e premendo un tasto. Da quel momento vi siete risparmiati quelle risorse.
Non capivo una cosa.
Dimmi.
Tramite Selenium abbiamo uno script che viene caricato.
Sì, uno script editabile tra l'altro, quindi uno volendo può editare proprio.
Ok, no, mi era sfuggito il passaggio, si richiamava il Selenium oppure viene creato uno script da Selenium?
Allora, Selenium ha 2 componenti, l'IDE che è praticamente il plugin per Firefox che consente di registrare la sessione, ovvero creare lo script, poi c'è Selenium Server che gira appunto sulla stessa macchina che ospita OPSView. Quindi è una componente installata su OPSView. Tu carichi lo script e poi lui lo esegue.
Banalmente, prendo il plugin, lo esegui, faccio le operazioni web che devo fare, mi salvo lo script, lo carico sul Selenium server che sta su OPSView,
scheduli il check.
Lo schedule il check è come se fosse un ping, mettiamolo così.
Esatto, concettualmente identico. Come vi dicevo, OPSView alla fine, essendo basato su un Azure Score, usa la logica dei plugin, dei check. Quindi praticamente vengono eseguiti dei check per un tipo di cosa. Potrebbe essere un check HTTP per un web, potrebbe essere un check Selenium che fa partire lo script sul Selenium server, che a sua volta simula la sessione, e quello, come un ping, restituisce una serie di informazioni. Per esempio, quanti test sono andati a buon fine e quanti sono falliti. Esattamente come un ping ti direbbe quanti pacchetti sono arrivati a destinazione e quanti sono falliti in quanto tempo.
That history that we recorded in the Firefox plugin is Perl.
Can you zoom? It's
Sure.
unreadable.
Me too.
Sorry.
Here we go. So, browser, IE, for example. So you can change the header that we're going to hear from the user agents. So you can record it all in Firefox, and you can just change the user agent there. Chrome, IE, Opera, Safari, Mobile Safari, and so forth. And again, this all looks quite complicated if you're not familiar with Perl, but we didn't have to write any Perl code. I just clicked through in the web browser, and we've got a really great check. Now, oh right, so let me show the dashboard. Yeah. Well, I've kept you waiting long enough, so this is now the real big feature set in Opsview version 4. We've spent probably about 6 months working on Opsview Enterprise's dashboard. So here, For the first time in Opsview, you can now have real-time graphing. You can have keyword summaries to see what's actually happening on your estate. You don't have to click through individual post templates and so forth in Opsview. It's all on one dashboard. Here's our Selenium check. Here's our e-commerce transaction. Every 1 minute that's updated. Again, look, huge spike. I can see that in my system center. I'm the manager. I can see, guys, we've instantly got a problem. There's a spike. What are you doing about it? And again, here you can see, look, was this our Christmas period? Was it our busy period? You can start to see trends now appear in real time on your dashboard. Again, here, some low-level Apache information, which is going to be really useful for your techies to monitor. And again, here, this is the view that you want. What's my website performance time like? Well, look, there's a blip there. What on earth happened? Oh, were we under a DDoS? What happened to our website? Instead of going through alerts and so forth, you can see it in real time in that single pane of glass. And here you've got performance time monitors, DNS lookups. Any service check that's in Opsview can have a dashlet, and you can graph it, you can performance check it. See here is the Apache internal performance. It's gone down, it's good, less is more. Again, I can click through to ESX, for example. I did the night shift, everything's fine overnight. And also, the OS has pointed me to a vendor. The vendor OS has said, look, go to this article ID for this problem we're having. And you can just hover over it and click it. And that can start to become a knowledge base of issues and troubleshooting them in real time on the Opsview estate. And that's something we're working towards. And again here, look, on our ESX estate we host 2 customers, Global Life Healthcare and High Stakes Gaming. And actually, did you just see that? It instantly just leapt up. So something's happened on the estate. In real time, we're getting those alerts now. It's the first time ever you've had this in Opsview. You couldn't represent it visually, but now you can with the dashboard. Again here, look, something's happened. What's caused that? We don't know, but we're getting to see it now. We can actually see that. It's all about a real-time viewport into your estate. And whether you're a techie who supports the environment, or the chief executive, or the chief information officer, that it's the responsibility to ensure the uptime of the application, the Opsview dashboard caters for everyone. So again, that's some quite nice examples. And that probably took me about 10 minutes to mock up that dashboard. It's really nice. So we're really proud of that dashboard. And there's one last thing to say about the dashboard. We're introducing a major new feature in 4.1, which is due in a few months, end of the summer. Remember NAGVIS, where we had the topology and the data diagram view? That will stay, but we're lifting it and we've written our own. So you can now have a new dashboard tab. You can have a map of Italy, data center 1, data center 2, data center 3. And you can start to see all the alerts attributable to each data center in each location. And then you can have another map. Here's my business process workflow. Here's my applications. Here's my web service. Here's my databases. Here's my end customers. And you can start to see a full application lifecycle on our weather map. So again, I'm really excited about the new feature. But it's really great to finally be able to show you a brand new dashboard. We're really, really pleased with what we've done here. And I hope you like it as well. So thanks very much.
Il prodotto supporta la multi-tenancy, quindi è possibile creare, come dicevo prima, anche per il monitoraggio as a service, creare più utenze e associare a loro una serie di diritti sull'interfaccia, oltre che assegnare quali sono gli host che gli appartengono. Una delle caratteristiche che sarà presente nella versione 4.1 è l'introduzione dell'associazione tra la dashboard personalizzata e l'utente. Quindi praticamente ogni utente, che potrebbe essere il manager, l'operatore o un vostro cliente, può avere una sua dashboard personalizzata, in modo che appena si logga la prima cosa che appare è quella, ed è sua, non se la deve riconfigurare ogni volta, o non è uguale per tutti soprattutto. Io volevo dirvi pochissime altre cose su ciò che sono le enterprise subscription. Allora, le subscription, i livelli di supporto si dividono in 4 versioni: Bronze, Silver, Gold e Platinum. Riuscite a vederlo lì in fondo, scusate? Questi livelli si distinguono per le funzionalità presenti a bordo del prodotto e il tipo di supporto previsto per quella release. Partiamo come prima cosa banalmente dal numero di device gestiti. Questi sono dei numeri di esempio, ma ovviamente possono essere maggiori. La Platinum ad esempio scala molto di più di 10.000 device. Come vi dicevo prima, dipende se volete il monitoraggio distribuito o l'alta affidabilità, perché alcuni livelli di supporto non prevedono quel tipo di funzionalità. Anche il supporto tecnico, in base al tipo di supporto di livello di supporto contrattualizzato, varia sotto quale punto di vista: il numero di ticket che possono essere aperti, il numero di riferimenti tecnici che possono contattare il supporto. E adesso è stata unificata la metodologia di contatto web, email e telefono per tutti i livelli, prima invece erano differenziati, e infine i tempi di risposta per tutti gli eventi cambiano in base al tipo di supporto, come è naturale che sia. Ok, le funzionalità previste per ogni tipo di supporto sono rappresentate sono riassunte in questa slide. Come potete vedere, tranne alcune componenti come l'alta disponibilità sul server master, la separazione database e il clustering sulle macchine slave, cioè sui nodi che vengono messi remotamente, non è disponibile ad esempio sul bronze, ma sul gold e platinum otteniamo praticamente tutto quanto. Quindi, quando vi dicevo prima la flessibilità e la modularità, oltre alla possibilità di contrattualizzare moduli aggiuntivi, potete decidere quale livello di supporto comprare in base alle vostre necessità. Quindi decidere come scalare anche dal punto di vista economico. I moduli Enterprise sono disponibili su tutte le versioni, a prescindere dal livello di supporto che comprate. Questo è variato rispetto alla versione precedente, dove ad esempio alcuni componenti come Sync Master non erano disponibili sul livello di supporto bronze. Ora ce l'hanno tutti quanti. Per tutti quanti sono opzionali e per tutti quanti il modulo di reportistica è integrato, è sempre disponibile per la versione Enterprise licenziata. Queste sono alcune delle principali referenze dei clienti di Opsview. Come vedete ci sono parecchi nomi importanti: Symantec, Sky, Telefonica, l'Allianz e così via. Sul sito, oltre a trovare la lista completa, potete trovare anche una serie di case study dove i referenti di quelle aziende vi raccontano qual era la loro esigenza, come Opsview li ha aiutati a risolvere il problema. Vi ricordo che attualmente noi siamo il primo e unico rivenditore, oltre che technical partner, di Opsview in Italia. Quindi per qualunque cosa, che sia la prototipazione di un qualcosa nel vostro data center, piuttosto che chiarimenti dal punto di vista tecnico e commerciale, potete fare riferimento a noi. In quest'ultima slide trovate i miei riferimenti e quelli di Chris. Io sono disponibile sia via mail, telefonicamente, oppure se vogliamo parlarne faccia a faccia, in qualunque momento. Io vi ringrazio per l'attenzione, vi auguro che in qualche modo sia servito a farvi vedere qualcosa che non conoscevate o qualcosa che possa interessarvi per il futuro, e godetevi il resto della serata. Grazie a tutti.